Sound check. Good morning. Sound check. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Travel Marketing and Media Masterclass. Today we're talking about all things Pinterest. And I have to say that Pinterest is one of my favorite places to be, no matter where in the world I am, because I honestly believe it is the last positive place on the internet. I don't know about you. Maybe let me know in the chat for those of you who are watching live, or even if you're watching the replay, let me know in the chat if Instagram or Facebook or Snapchat or TikTok used to be your favorite place to be, but it just feels a little heavy lately. If that's you, let me know. I think that when I open Instagram, maybe the algorithms, maybe I need to retrain the algorithm. I just really want to see food videos and makeup tutorials and home decor. And instead, I'm getting all kinds of PDF files and war videos. And it's not that those things are not important, they're super important, but it's pretty heavy. And then under every video and every post is every human's opinion. And it can be a really exhausting and draining place. I actually got to the stage where, for my own mental health, I decided to take Instagram and Pinterest off, Instagram and Facebook off of my phone. I would literally have to get up and go to the computer and log in. And I would also log off every time I was done. And it just made the times that I was checking in a little bit more less frequent. And people were saying, well, what about business? Everything was still fine. I could go to my computer and log in just like I did for everything else. And I think that it's probably coming time for me to do that again. But let me know in the chat if you feel the same. It can be extremely heavy on social media. And that's why Pinterest really has a lane of its own, because it's not social media. I see a lot of people email us in asking for marketing help or advice. And we always say to them, like, what are you doing right now? And they say, I'm doing social media. And it always makes me think to myself, social media is so different today than it was 5 years ago or 10 years ago. I remember when Facebook first came out in 2007, and I was 27 years old. working on a cruise ship as a marketing and revenue manager, or maybe a port and shopping guide, I can't remember. And I just remember being connected to all of these people that I had lost touch with 10 years ago before I graduated, when I graduated high school. And I had the most amazing high school, and they were so cool, all the people I went to school with. And to this day, we graduated in 1996 or 97. We're all still really, really close friends. Isn't that crazy? That's so crazy. 30 years after graduation, and we are all still friends. Anyway, social media was different back then. It was also the era that I remember in 2015 when I started playing on Pinch on Instagram. I remember signing up for my first Instagram account and connecting it to, started following friends, and had a lot of people following me that weren't my friends. And it was 1,000 followers, 5,000, 7,000, 10,000 followers on Instagram. And I remember I would post things only with 1,000 followers, and I would get 400 likes and 200 comments. It was just a very, very different place. But then, as you know, Meta, now known as Meta, but before just used to be individually Instagram and Facebook, it was about connecting people. It was about bringing people together. It was about the sharing of ideas, inspiration. I always used to say in my social media training back when I would do social media coaching, I would say Facebook is a place that you come to connect to people, and Instagram is where you go to get inspired. But my, how the tables have changed and turned and flipped, because now 20 years. Next year is going to be 20 years since Facebook came into our lives. It's a very different place. And as a business, unless you are paying for ads, it is extremely difficult to get seen. It's very busy. Oh, I love that. Sherry, literally, you took the words out of my mouth, girl. Sherry says Facebook and Instagram is very busy. You know what I feel like, Sherry? I've only ever felt overstimulated once traveling. Just one time, I remember it was enough that it started to make me panic. And this was literally 18 months ago. We were shooting in Turkey for season 1 of Authentic Escapes. And I remember the episode that we were in Istanbul. And has anyone been to the Grand Spice Market? We walked in, and I immediately felt a feeling that I had never felt before. It was a different kind of overwhelm. It wasn't an overwhelm like to-do list. It wasn't that kind of overwhelm. It was a sensory overwhelm. And I would, not that I would know what it feels like to be on the spectrum, but I would imagine that that's kind of what it felt like. It was the bustle, it was the noise, it was the people, it was the lighting, it was everything. And for me, who has never felt that in my whole life, I felt it that day. I feel like Facebook and Instagram feel exactly that way. So let's see what else we've got in here. Good morning, John. John, so happy to be building out your website for you. I have blocked off some time next week. And when I saw your name came in yesterday, I just couldn't be more thrilled to work with you. I'm so excited. John says, I was never a fan of social, but Pinterest, love it. And I'm hopefully moving to only Pinterest with your help, of course. Absolutely. I just feel like Pinterest, and we'll talk about what Pinterest is. Can I do a temperature check in the room? If you're watching the replay, still let me know, because I read every single comment. Who doesn't know anything about Pinterest? Like, you're just brand new starting out with Pinterest. Who doesn't know anything about Pinterest at all? Because then I'll start real slow in a good way. Sherry says, I am fairly new to Pinterest. I just need to learn how to use it. Yeah, and it has a little bit of a learning curve. I'm not going to lie. It has a learning curve, and then it has a testing curve. So it has a curve where you learn about Pinterest first, then Pinterest learns about you and your content, and then it's a slow cooker. It is literally a slow cooker. It would be like the feeling of being starving hungry, and then that was my robot vacuum. Anthony goes to me, did you put that on right before you went live? No, she went on by herself at 8:30. I call her a she because I feel like she is the gender of the robot that would clean and vacuum my house every morning and mop. So I apologize about that noise. What was I going to say? Pinterest. Oh yeah. So you learn about Pinterest. Pinterest learns about you. It's a slow cooker, and it's the equivalent of walking in your house when you are so ravenously hungry that you could just eat anything. It's the day, you remember those moments where you walk in and you could literally grab lettuce from the fridge. You're so hungry. You would grab anything from the freezer and nuke it. That bougie moment where you're like, I don't feel like eating. When you're ravenously hungry, you'll grab anything. If it's a boiled egg in your fridge, you'll grab it. And I remember thinking to myself that Pinterest is just like being ravenously hungry and then putting something in a slow cooker and watching it for 6 hours on low or 8 hours on low. It is cooking. There is something going on. But if you sat and watched a roast in a slow cooker, you would forever just go crazy. So that's Pinterest. But when you get it right, and it's not difficult to get right either because they're in your corner, unlike Facebook and Meta, when you get it right, Pinterest is magical. So let me just check and see. Oh, I asked a little bit how everybody feels about Pinterest and what you know. So first comment here is, I know very little. Okay, great. Me, brand new. Hands up, brand new. I've put it off for years, the website, but the great comeback, I just need help. It's been roughly 2 years with illness, family loss, and now it's time. I just simply can't do it alone. Oh, that gives me a little bit of chills because it was a hard lesson for me to learn that I cannot run this business by myself. And I've taken a little bit of a break over the last 2 years and I've been very quiet because I had burnout. I was tired, I was exhausted, I was burned out. And I started looking at all these businesses over history that have just been huge. And I thought to myself, Richard Branson did not build his empire by himself. None of these people built their empires by themselves. Oprah Winfrey did not build her empire by herself. You don't have to be fans of these people, but know that they did not build those empires by themselves. Even the travel brands that you love, Ama Waterways, Rudy, Christine, Mr. Jimmy, the late Mr. Jimmy, they did not build it by themselves. There were 3 co-founders of Ama Waterways and a team of people rallying behind them, families. They did not do it on their own. So the minute that clicks for you, it's a magical moment as a business owner. Sharon says, I go on it and I'm lost, and that's why I want you to teach me everything I know about Pinterest. You're going to get clarity today, Sharon. I'm a newbie and relying on Pin Studio to do it. Still not working smoothly, though. David, we need to get you to the point where Pin Studio is working. Pin Studio, for those of you who don't know, is our custom-built platform for travel entrepreneurs, travel businesses, and travel brands, where we create your pins and schedule them for you. And when it's working, it takes about 10 minutes a month to have all of your pins. We have all of our pins for Authentic Escapes going through Pin Studio. It builds them, creates them, writes the captions, picks the images and pins them. And we pin 10 times a day on Authentic Escapes. But David, if it's not working for you and you're having trouble, one-on-ones are the best way to get them sorted. And even if you've had a one-on-one, we've made a lot of system improvements and it's been super stable, probably since the end of Feb. So we might need to restart with you and help you out, but we need to help you. So Flora, if you want to make a note for me to reach out to David, I want to make sure that David's taken care of there. John says, I feel your pain. Exactly. When will Pin Studio open again? Pin Studio is always open. It's always open. You can join at any time. When you sign up for Pin Studio, I will absolutely recommend that you have a one-on-one call. Go ahead and do the setup by yourself and then meet with Flora or meet with Blessing and do a one-on-one call. It takes about 10 to 15 minutes. They'll just check all your settings and make sure you're good. Unless you're the kind of person like me who likes to put together IKEA furniture. Well, not currently, but back in the day, I used to like to put together IKEA furniture and I never read the instructions. I remember when I got married and Anthony said, did you build that bookshelf? And I said, yes. He said, what are all those screws? I said, they're the leftovers. I had about 13 screws left over. And he said, you're not meant to have leftover screws and you're certainly not meant to have 13 of them. So if you are that person, go in, jump in, see what you can figure out on your own. There are tutorial videos. There is a step-by-step. There is an onboarding wizard. But if you're the kind of person that would rather just jump on a call and have a human help you, we can do that as well. David said he sent an email in this morning. Perfect. John said, it said I had to join the wait list. Oh, it might have just been while we were stabilizing a couple of the tech issues. So now we're going to be all good to go. We will make sure that sign up opens today. So Flora, if you want to pop that on your list, please, to make sure that sign up can open, and whoever is on the wait list, there's probably dozens of people on the wait list that we email them. Okay, I want to jump straight in and start teaching you about Pinterest. So let's get into it. I'm going to pull up, yes, I've got everything on my screen the right way. Let's jump straight in, and we are going to do the most basic task first of talking about what a pin is. This is what a pin looks like. The best way to explain a pin in a tactile way is it's like a Post-it note that you get a thumbtack and pin it to a board. That is the best way. So I want you to picture the biggest wall in your house. What's the biggest wall in your house? For me, it would be maybe my hallway might be the biggest wall. And I have a pretty big wall in my living room. It has a TV on it. But say, for example, that wall had nothing on it. Then I want you to visualize getting a bunch of cork boards. If you're very young, you're like, what is a thumbtack and what is a cork board? You might not know, but I'm going to assume that you do. You can look it up on chat if you don't. But imagine the biggest wall in your house. Imagine then having it covered in boards, in boards, and then imagine getting a packet of Post-it notes, all different colors of Post-it notes. Okay, all different colors of Post-it notes. And then each board has a theme, right? This is the best way. No one's ever explained Pinterest to you this way, but this is the best way to explain Pinterest. Trust me. The biggest wall in your house, one big wall, nothing on it. You go and buy a bunch of pin boards. Maybe you have 20 boards on your wall and they all have different topics on them. Some of them might be spring gardens. Another one might be couches. Another one might be safaris. All the things that you are interested in. Okay. And then you start looking for pins, which is Post-it notes with content on them. And a pin is what you're looking at right now. This is what would be on a Post-it note. And you're basically organizing all of your little Post-it notes onto boards that are like-minded. So this, for example, if you saw this pin pop up in your feed, pop up on your Pinterest account, and you were like, oh, that's interesting, 12 differences between ocean and river cruising. If that was of interest to you, you would pin it. They call it repin it onto the board that you name. So you might name it river cruising. You might just name it travel. Maybe you're an avid traveler and you have it all broken up. You have ocean cruising board, river cruising board. Maybe you're planning your 50th birthday and you say, you know what? That's my next milestone birthday for myself. It's coming up soon. And I think to myself, oh, I want to start putting together 50th birthday ideas. So I go, I buy a board, I put a board on the wall, and it's not that big. It's like a 16 by 20 board. And I'll start collecting any content that makes me think of my 50th and something that I would like to do. Now, in the beginning, it might have parties, it might have a dinner party, it might have a trip, it might have just the three of us going on a trip, it could have all of our friends. Really depends financially on where we are at the time, what's going on in the world at the time. Can't even imagine. We'll be past a presidential election, we'll be past an Olympics here in LA, who knows? But that board would be my 50th birthday board. So you decide as a user of Pinterest what boards you have, what they're called, and what pins, what content that you see on Pinterest that you're going to save for yourself and repin it onto a board. You can have unlimited pins on a board. That's the good thing. It doesn't matter the size of the board. You just throw them all in. Now, Pinterest has very, very good muscle memory. So your top 5 things that you search, the most recent 5 things, I should be specific, are what Pinterest is going to show to you in your feed. I often wonder why I get certain things show up in my feed on Facebook and Instagram, because they could not be further from what I'm interested in. So for example, I had yesterday cannabis oil show up in my Facebook feed. And this is no shade to anyone who likes a little bit of CBD oil, but it's not for me. And I really wonder, like, did that person buy an ad and profile me as someone that they thought should use it? Maybe they think all business owners or all people who live in LA or all mothers of small boys. I don't know. All mothers who have recently been to an emergency room at a hospital. I don't know what they thought, but that's how it showed up in my feed. But it was very wrong. Pinterest do it very right. Pinterest will take the last 5 things that you searched for. And when you open up your feed in your Pinterest account, that is all you will see. So if you last searched for spring gardens, neutral nail designs, wall colors, Sri Lanka for families, and car window tints, that is all your feed is going to show until you search for something different. It will knock off the spring gardens, the 5th thing, and bring that one into position. Then, in addition to that, if you have emails turned on for Pinterest, and I highly recommend that you do for 2 reasons. If you have your email notifications turned on for Pinterest, you will receive a daily or weekly email. Now, I get mine daily. It is my favorite email to get. It requires zero mental gymnastics because all I have to do is click on it and immediately the preview pane shows up in my inbox and I get to see pictures, images, just like this, of the 5 most recent things I looked at. My Pinterest email right now, I'm actually going to see if I can bring it up on my phone. My Pinterest email right now is very indicative to what I've been searching. So it could backfire on me to show you what I've been looking at. It'll make you feel like you know me better or not at all. I don't know. It's not a secret. Okay, so this is yesterday's email. So it will come up. It's just loading right now. My internet's slow, but you can see here it says yesterday's email from Pinterest. It always comes with a really clever header. This one is called Ideas That Spark Joy. We thought you would like this. And then basically, oh, here it is now. Let me make sure. Okay, so you can probably tell what I've been looking at. I've been looking at kitchens. I hate our kitchen cabinets. So I've been looking at kitchens. So this is indicative of the last 5 things that I searched for. I was also looking for hair products because I have hair just like hers, maybe not that curly, more wavy. So obviously that's popped up, but this is also in ratio to what I've been looking at. So every single day, an email will pop into Pinterest and whatever you search for today, bet your bottom dollar, it's going to appear in your email this afternoon. Here's the one from March 31st, and it just comes up and it's got that cute, cool heading, your vibe has arrived. And it's just loading now. I don't know what's wrong with our internet today, but it'll load up everything that I've been looking for. Knowing me, it's probably more kitchens. So that's basically how Pinterest works. Is that clear? And at this stage, does anyone have any questions? Please let me know in the chat if you have questions, because I usually wait till the end for questions, but for this particular, like understanding what a pin is, that's very important. So we'll go back to the actual slide and then I'll come back and check for questions. So this is what your pin looks like right here. So over on the left, you've got your graphic. Your graphic is this whole section here from the image, the title, 12 differences between ocean and river cruising. That is your Pinterest graphic. On the right-hand side, you'll have your website here. So you'll have davidtravel.com here. Your pin title, you'll have your caption or your description, they call it in Pinterest, okay? And then this is just a mock-up right here. It's not a real pin, but you'll have a button that says visit site or visit website. And someone can literally click right there and go directly to your website. This could be a blog about the 12 differences between ocean and river cruising. It could be a podcast episode. It could be a page on your website that's just about river cruising. I think that in this case, I would love to see a blog called 12 Differences Between Ocean and River Cruising. Pinterest are going to be looking for you to match with the destination where they send you to, where the person clicks to, with the graphic and the caption and the description. And if it's not a great match, like if you suddenly send everybody to your homepage, Pinterest is going to penalize that. So Pinterest want to see that you're sending people exactly to what they're looking for. You should understand that, because when you look for something, the last thing you like is going somewhere where you're not getting what you're looking for. Okay, so that's basically how a pin works, what a pin looks like. Let's move along. Okay, so, oh, went too far. Okay, so understanding how Pinterest users search and buy search for what they want to buy. So here's a few things that you should know about Pinterest. Now, I'm going to be sending a summary email today for yesterday's class and today's class. And then know that tomorrow we are repeating the 15 things that you should add to your website. That's coming up tomorrow. And we're also repeating this one, I think, on Tuesday. And we're repeating yesterday's one on Monday. So all 3 masterclasses have one more session of each. But I'm going to be sending an email summary for this, but this is a really important page. If you want to screenshot this, if you want to take a photo of this, important things you should know about Pinterest. Pinterest users are planners. They're not bored people doing nothing. They are planners and they are buyers. 85% of pinners, people who use Pinterest, say that they go to Pinterest when they're starting a new project or planning a life moment like a vacation. It is a high intent platform, meaning that 97% of searches on Pinterest are unbranded. So that means that people are not searching for Ama Waterways or Avalon Waterways. They are they're not looking for the big name companies. They're looking for concepts and ideas and inspiration. Okay. They're searching for river cruises, but they're not searching for Avalon River Cruises. For that, they go to a website. Pinterest has a longer content shelf life. So pins can drive traffic for months or even years. One of my top rated pins, my top performing pins, is from 4 years ago right now, 2 to 4 years ago. Yeah. Unlike Instagram or TikTok, which fade in 24 to 48 hours. Y'all, if I'm going to do the work and I'm going to pay the money to invest into my Pinterest journey as a business, I want it working for me still 12 months from now, 2 years from now, 4 years from now. It's one of the reasons why social media, I'm kind of funny about social media, that I kind of steer clear of it a little bit. I'm thinking about coming back in, but that's one of the reasons. I just don't love the concept of putting in so much effort and it's such a short-lived platform. Yeah. So Pinterest definitely has a very, very long shelf life. Like, it never disappears. It's a traffic driver, not a follower game. You do not need followers to win on Pinterest. That is the good news. You can win on Pinterest with 0 followers. Pinterest shows pins in search and home feeds based on relevance, not popularity. You do not need your pin to be viral to show up in somebody's feed. Yeah. All of the pins that are here I'll show you, I've got some more kitchen pins that came through on my email. When I look at these pins, none of these have to be viral. They could have just been posted yesterday. They could have been posted 4 years ago, right? But it matches what I was searching for. What else? Luxury travel fits perfectly like a glove into Pinterest. Pinterest users skew towards high income households. I don't know where this idea came from. I saw a online influencer talking about, like, Pinterest is for people who just want cheap stuff. No way. Pinterest skews, and this is from Pinterest directly, to high income households. So 45% of Pinterest users, individuals, make over 100K a year. Where you have 2 adults in a home, that means that they're making over 200K a year. And that in America is considered a high income household. And Pinterest favors fresh content. New images, pin titles, and URLs are rewarded. Even repurposing old blogs with new graphics can give you a boost. Now, I saw my Pinterest numbers drop over the last 4 months, and I realized, oh gosh, I haven't changed out my URLs. I'd been using the same URLs, sending everyone to those same blogs, those same podcast episodes for 6 months. And straight away I changed them, picked 6 new blogs, and my Pinterest numbers went straight back up by 2,000 impressions within a couple of weeks. So this is really important stuff to know about Pinterest. All right, we talked about how a pin works. Okay, why Pinterest works. You are creating professional content that establishes authority and expertise. When you put out that pin of 12 differences between ocean and river cruising, the assumption is that you know what the difference is and you know how to explain it, and that you have a lot of differences and that you can clearly articulate them. Pinterest is not a social media platform. So when you say, I'm doing social media, I'm doing Instagram, Facebook, and Pinterest, not even. You sound silly in that moment. So stop saying that if you were. You didn't know. That's okay. Pinterest is not a social media platform. It's a search engine like Google. Yeah. So if you wanted to tell someone that in fancy marketing speak that you were doing Pinterest, you could say, I'm doing Pinterest. I think that's just actually better. But you could say, I'm working on my SEO. Oh, how are you doing that? I'm using Pinterest for people to search for travel, find my pins, or be shown my pins, and then come through to my website. It's essentially search engine optimization that Pinterest falls under. Okay, so if you know nothing about SEO, by the end of today, you will, because you'll know about Pinterest. Okay, so Pinterest is not a social media platform. It's a search engine just like Google. It's a pretty version of Google where everything is organized by image, so you don't have to read, which means that it means you drive hot traffic to your website. People are going to your website because of what you pinned. Now, I get asked all the time, I've got all these impressions of people coming to my website, but they're not engaging in my website. They're not signing up for my email list. I'm not getting leads. That's because your website isn't the landing spot that you thought it was. It's like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to go to this restaurant. You get there and the food wasn't all that. But the hype around the restaurant, has that ever happened to you? That happened to me with this coffee shop in California. I don't know if it's nationwide. It's called Alfred's. It's like an LA cult following. And one just opened right by where Houston goes to school. And I went down there. The coffee is awful. I hated it. And I'm sorry if Alfred is watching. Well, you won't be, but I'm sorry about that. But it just wasn't what I thought it would be. That's what happens 99.9% of the time when people click on your static PDF looking website. They're just looking at a blog. And then there's nowhere to go from there. And maybe there's a little opt-in form, but it's not engaging. It's not interactive. What you want to have is like, you send them through to 12 differences between ocean and river cruising, or how, if you're an ocean cruiser, take this quiz to see if you like river cruising, or take this quiz. That's why, like on David, for example, on your site, and a couple of others who booked in yesterday for their sites to be done, we're going to be tricking out your website with lots of quizzes and interactive content in there. We're going to be building out, like, compare this destination and this destination. You type in the name of a country and it comes up 2 different countries and then builds you a comparison list, stuff like that, because those are going to make for better pin topics. Can you imagine, instead of just seeing 12 differences between ocean and river cruising, which is really good, what if instead you saw, take the quiz, which river is right for you? Or, so you're an ocean cruiser, take the quiz to find out if river cruising is right for you. It may not be. It might be, but it may not be. So those are the kinds of ways that you can become more interactive and more engaging. And those are the ways that people are more likely then to follow through with you. If anything, when they take the quiz, you're going to get their email address. Okay. Pinterest is not about comments and likes. Those are vanity metrics. And it's one of the reasons I pulled out of the social game, was because I just felt like I would post something on Instagram and Facebook, and I would then quickly go back and check and see if somebody liked it. And one day I sat down and I remember saying to my child, he was 3 at the time, and I remember saying to him, he said, "Oh, nobody wants to play with me." As a parent, I don't know if you've heard that from your children. It's kind of low-key heartbreaking. But I remember Houston saying, "No one wants to play with me." Firstly, my first feeling was like to jump a bunch of preschoolers, but you can't put your hands on other people's kids. That's fine. But it was heartbreaking. And then I said to him, "Oh, it doesn't matter if people like you, though. You have to learn to play by yourself. You have to learn to go and ask other people to play with you. And if they say no, that doesn't mean they don't like you. It just means in that moment," especially a preschooler will tell you to your face, like, "You're not my friend anymore." But actually what they mean is, "I'm busy playing with this and I really like it. And I cannot think of a world where I would move away from this right now." That's what that means. Even now at 6, he's in kindergarten going into grade 1, kids are like, "You're not my friend anymore." I'm like, that's not what it means. So I remember questioning myself, being like, why am I posting to Facebook and Instagram? And then rushing back to see if someone liked my post, to see if someone commented on my post. And I tried to validate it by saying, "Oh, but it's your business." But I was doing it on every single post, non-business as well. So I think it's definitely important to understand this about Pinterest, that with Pinterest, it's not about the likes, it's not about the comments. Those are all vanity metrics. It's about conversion. All that matters is impressions. And then eventually, once your impressions get up, your clicks. And I'll talk about that in a second. Pinterest wants people to leave the platform. If you have not watched The Social Dilemma on Netflix, please go watch it. Please go watch it, or check out a highlights on YouTube or something like that. Or if you're super lazy and you don't have time, ask chat to give you a summary of the most shocking points of it. But it's really quite an incredible documentary. It's called The Social Dilemma, and it's on Netflix. But if you don't have Netflix, go to YouTube and see what you can find on there. Okay, so let's keep moving along. This is really interesting. From one blog on your website, you can create 10 to 15 different graphics, and you could create pins, hundreds of pins to one blog. So for those of you who have blogs on your website and you're wondering if they're doing anything for your business, Pinterest just entered the chat and said, "Yes, I can do something with these." Now, this is if you are creating your graphics manually in Canva. You can go into Canva, you can type Pinterest in Canva, and a whole bunch of graphics will pop up. You put in images, you put in titles, and then you export them as JPEGs or PNG. You take them over to Pinterest or into a scheduler. You type in a title, you type in a caption, you type in the URL of the blog, and then you hit schedule. It is extremely cumbersome, which is why we built Pin Studio, because it negates the need to do any of this. And it will create your pins for you and schedule them for you with your brand colors. And it changes up the title, changes up all the images. But just know the good news here is that you can have one blog article and create hundreds of pins going to that one URL. Now, remember that Pinterest favors changing up in URL. So we never recommend that you have 1, 2, or 3. The more blogs that you have on your website, the better. It's why now when we design websites, we try to put at least 10 to 20 blogs on a website so that you immediately immediately can jump onto Pin Studio. And if you've got 20 URLs, that you put all 20 at once and let it fruit salad and shake it all up. So you might just start pinning at 2 or 3 pins a day. We'll talk about that soon. You don't want to do more than 2 or 3 when you're starting out. Pinterest will think it's a robot pinning, not a human behind a business. And so you can imagine 2 or 3 pins a day over with 20 different URLs or 10 different URLs. And you might do 10 now and 10 in 3 months' time. And then you leave it a couple of weeks and then you increase to 4 pins a day and 5 pins a day. It's like going to the gym and increasing the weight on your lifting little bit at a time. If you go in and you tried to do like bicep curls and you started at 30 pounds, you're probably going to feel like dying. All right. Are you an all access pass holder? I'm going to stop here for a second. If you are an all access pass holder, inside of your destination bundles, I just wanted to point out one thing. There's like 110 destination bundles, or over 100 at least. Inside of that, you actually have right in the middle, you have graphics. So if you do not want to sign up for Pin Studio, you do not have to. You have graphics. These are editable. I always call them edible. These are editable in Canva. So you can change out the image. So you might say, oh, I want to put this image here of this volcano, or I want this beach image instead. Well, you can delete it out and you can mix the images up, put different images in. You might have other images you want to use, but you can take the 2 blogs from Bali and put those on your website and then do your graphics in Canva, and then you've got everything you need, and it didn't cost you a cent. If you don't want to do all of that work, that's why you would sign up for Pin Studio. But if you don't want to sign up for Pin Studio because you're not able to financially, that makes sense to me. But if you're an all access member already, or you have Tame, then know that if you signed up for Tame, we gave you access to our content vault, the content library. If you signed up for the all access pass, you have access to Tame. Basically, if you paid for one, you have the other, regardless of which way you went. But I just wanted to point that out to you so that you don't feel like you have to sign up for Pin Studio. There's a way that you can do it with what you have. Okay, question. Do people really search for travel on Pinterest? Yes, travel comes up in the top 5 topics that people look for on Pinterest. Top 5 globally, worldwide, whole planet. On this planet, travel is in the top 5. Sometimes it slips to 6 or 7 because holiday season, people start looking at holiday decorations and decor, things like that, or Super Bowl or stuff like that, how to lay out snacks for Super Bowl, or back to school sometimes can throw that a little bit as well. But for the most part, travel falls in the top 5 categories. It's a popular platform for travel enthusiasts to gather ideas, destinations, activities, accommodation, and more. And users often create boards dedicated to specific travel goals. Remember I told you about the biggest wall in your house with all of the boards on it that you nailed up on the wall, or 3M'd if you're cautious? Bucket list destinations, travel hacks, dream vacations. And that's where they put all of the pins that other people have published. People like you, content creators, marketers like you, have put up there. So if you created that pin, 12 differences between ocean and river cruising, know that somebody's going to pin that on their board, right? What you want them to do is to click on it and go out to your website. Some people will save it, some people will repin it. It just depends. But people look for things like bucket list destinations, travel hacks, or dream vacations. That's the boards. But what they look for, I think, is going to shock you. And I'll tell you that in a second. What people actually type into Pinterest is shocking to me. Number 5, how is the audience on Pinterest different to Facebook or Instagram? Sorry, I'm missing an E in different there. You can tell that chat doesn't write my slides, by the way. These are human written. I leave the spelling errors in there for that. They're more intentional. Pinterest users are way more intentional. They are also future focused. Past focused is content like, look at my vacation pics of the vacation I went on. Present focus, look at me, I'm on vacation. Future focused people are, I'm ready for a vacation, can you inspire me? You want to look for future and that matters. 6 in 10 adults are more likely to remember brands that they encounter when they are feeling in a positive state of mind, just like this beautiful señorita here. They trust brands that they see in a positive space. That makes a lot of sense to me because I'm less likely to trust brands that I see on Instagram these days, unless I go digging and then I get a better feeling about it, because Instagram is such a negative place for me. Again, might just be my algorithm, but it's full of a lot of political stuff and people arguing and being incredibly unkind to each other. Purchase a brand when they see it in a positive space. Pinterest is the last positive space on the internet. Everybody is there taking an escape from the real world. How people use Pinterest to travel. So 553 million people, monthly active users, are on Pinterest. Let that sit with you. That's like more than 1.5 times the population of this country worldwide. 47% of them seek travel inspiration. 88% focus on specific destinations. That's actually up to 92% right now. When I said to you, what are people searching for on Pinterest? Destinations. They're searching for destination-focused information or styles of travel. 8 in 10 weekly users plan their summer escape based on what they saw on Pinterest. So now is a very good time for you to start on Pinterest, not because you should be generating leads before summer or bookings before summer necessarily. You could, but because people are going to start searching for summer travel the minute these kids go back to school. Mine is off all of this week, all of last week, and goes back on Monday. I will then be thinking towards summer. What are we doing this summer? We've already had conversations. I think we're staying home for June and July, but we're heading back to South Africa and China in August, if all goes well. So people are already starting to look. My Pinterest feed is very much about China right now because we have a region of China that we want to go to. And I've just been looking. And a lot of that content is coming up in Pinterest right now. So I would imagine that it's going to start showing up in my emails because I started searching last night. So today's email, I'll screenshot it and share it with you all in the Facebook group. I bet you today's email will have China in it, if not tomorrow. And searches surge for travel vision boards and packing guides. That means that people on the biggest wall in their house are creating boards for travel. Okay, so those stats don't lie. Your audience is a very warm audience on Pinterest because they're all for travel. They discover, they decide, and then they do. Okay, 97% of the searches about travel are unbranded. No one's going in there looking. So we have one of our VIP Pinterest clients where we actually do all the Pinterest for our VIPs. I think we have 12 VIP clients. We do everything for them. They don't do anything at all. They just tell us, they make sure they have blogs on their website. And even for them, we wrote blogs for them. We wrote blogs for like 5 of them and then sent them through. They put them up on their website and we take care of everything else. They never log into anything. We send them a monthly report and they may or may not read it. I'm not sure. But we take care of everything for them. It's a full white glove. When we do their content, it's 100% destination or niche-based content for them to match their business. But we have one VIP client who wanted to try, and we're all open for people trying, even if it's not what we teach. You're a business owner. If you want to try something, we're going to support you. So we tried some Avalon pins about the suites on Avalon. They did not perform because it's not what people are looking for. But if we did a quick tweak and we talked about suites on a river cruise, that is much better because it's not a branded pin, if you follow me there. Pinterest drives 10 times higher brand searches off platform compared to others. And 61% say that they spent more than expected to spend on Pinterest. When I told my husband I was taking off Instagram and Facebook off my phone, and he goes, "What are you going to do?" And I said, "I'm just going to look at Pinterest." He went, "Oh gosh, that's about like having Amazon app on the phone." Yeah. Activity. Create a new board for a topic that you love that has nothing to do with travel. Type something into the search phrase and pin 10 things to that board. If you're doing something else, stop for a second. Can you write in the chat for me, what is one thing that you would like to learn about or look up that has nothing to do with travel? Nothing to do with travel. For me, I want to look up basic carpentry skills, like I want to learn how to frame things out with wood because I don't know if you can see it. I'm going to show it to you in my kitchen real quick while you're typing this. I'm going to spin around. My kitchen is a little bit untidy right now on the countertop. There we go. Okay, see in my kitchen, right above my kitchen cabinets over there, up here, there's a big space above the top there. I only ever see that in America. It's really weird to me, but it's all the way around in my kitchen right there. Yeah. So that's my kitchen. It's really a big space. I want to learn how to frame out the space above it and then color match, which is just white, or I could do a totally different color for contrast, how to then put like just MDF or something in front of it and paint it because it gets a lot of dust trapped up there. Yes, I could pay a carpenter to do it, but there are so many times, including, I'll spin this around. This is our living room wall. I would love to frame this out and for it to sit out of the wall a little bit, and then maybe put an electric fireplace underneath. And I got a quote and it's $10,000. And I see all these people doing it on YouTube. It's not complex, but you have to invest in learning it. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have a look on Pinterest and I'm going to see if I can figure out how to learn to frame something. I'm going to start with one little space above one cabinet. Or maybe Anthony will make me start in the laundry because then nobody can see. Yeah, because I have to remove a bit of the cabinet. He's not going to let me do it. I'm going to do it in the laundry upstairs where we have exactly the same thing, the dust catcher. And I'm going to learn to frame out with 2x4s. And it doesn't matter if I just use a hammer and a nail. I have a drill, actually. I have all these accessories that I bought. Tools, electric tools that I bought. And whenever I don't have, I can rent it from Home Depot for the day. And yeah, actually, tomorrow we're going to Home Depot or Sunday because they do free classes for kids. Houston has a woodwork class on Sunday that we signed him up for. I forgot about that. So I will buy my 2x4s and I will learn by then. Okay, so the reason I say that is because I'm going to start looking in Pinterest. I'm going to type in, can you help me? What would I type in to start seeing that stuff in Pinterest? Let me know in the chat. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like I want to learn how to frame things out and then basic woodwork. Because then I could also what would I put in? You tell me and then I'll type it into Pinterest. I'm going to open Pinterest. And then you tell me, this is for your Pinterest learning. I'm doing this, but also to prove my point. What would I type in? Maybe I might type in woodwork frame ideas. No, because then I'm going to get painted. I'm going to get DIY framing. I think I'm going to get soffit framing kitchen, how to frame the soffit. Oh, what is this word you all know? SOFFIT over my TMY cabinets. How to build a soffit above what is a soffit? Okay, how to build a soffit, like Sofitel soffit. Pinterest might know. Soffit above kitchen cabinets. So you can put in a whole sentence, kitchen cabinets. This is what we're all going to learn today about Pinterest. This is going to help you with your business Pinterest, I promise. This is not just me figuring out how to do this new hobby that I've had in my head now for 4 years. Or maybe 6 years, 5 years. We've been building new build houses for 5 years now. This is our third home that we've built, and we decorate them and sell them and then use the money for a down payment for the next house. So we were able to go from a 2-bedroom apartment that we were renting to a 5-bedroom home that we own now in a beautiful community just by doing one small house, townhouse to a bigger house to a bigger house. Okay, so you've got all your things. Jody used to be a kitchen designer. Okay, Jody, Anthony needs to pay our internet. It hasn't come up yet. No, we've got a little bit of internet. Okay, so I want to put up here what you are. Sharon, I will have Flora help you. Flora, can you reach out to Sharon Simmons, please? She joined All Access 2 days ago. We want to make sure that she gets a one-on-one, that we can show her where to download her All Access content, and also to make sure that she's all set up in Tame. Let's do a one-on-one with her. And we might need to book her a double amount of time for one-on-one, like a 30-minute instead of a 15-minute, so we can show her Tame and we can show her All Access. Okay. John says, yes, see it regularly, including my daughter who worked in her dad's business. Okay. Sourdough recipes. That's a great one. I am afraid of learning how to make bread. Everybody always says this whenever we do Pinterest training, because I will eat the entire loaf. When I was a little girl, after church, my parents would go to a bakery where they would buy something called a tank loaf. I don't know if it's just where we lived, but it was basically like a round shaped log of bread, and they would throw them into plastic. It was like a Vietnamese bakery, and they would throw them into plastic. Best bakeries in the world are Vietnamese bakeries. They would throw them into a bag and then spin it around like this, and we would be like, oh wow, it was so little. And then the bag would fill up with steam because they were so hot. We would race home. My mom would be holding on the car, yelling at my dad that we were all going to die. And then we would get home. I remember being 5. We were 5, 3, and 1. And then my dad would race. He would get the long serrated edge knife, and he would slice the bread thick and then put margarine, because we couldn't afford butter. He would put margarine in there, and we would all just sit there and eat warm bread. So I'm afraid that if I do what Voyages by Water is doing, I will eat the whole loaf because I was conditioned that way. Allison Giddens says home upgrades. Oh my gosh, yes. Part of the reason we're going to China. Sharon says homemade bread recipes. Sharon, I love bread too much. I can't be with you on that, but yeah, I don't trust myself. Turn it into an upper storage space. I would, but our whole kitchen island is storage, and we're in a 3,300 square foot home, and there's only 3 of us. But it could be useful if we sell this house, when we flip this one, that's all storage as well. I don't know what people would put up there. Maybe even appliances. They would have to have a ladder. Kitchen decorate, maybe Christmas decorations. Who knows? Okay. Oh, yeah. Everybody's helped me to figure out what it was. Food displays. Okay. Sherry would look up food displays. I love entertaining and having parties, and food needs to look unique. Pinterest has a lot of amazing ideas. Yes. So, Sherry, what do you call your boards? Do you have more than one board that you use for your food displays? It's obviously something that you look at all the time. So, that's good to know. In interiors, it means a lowered, boxed in ceiling that hides ducts and pipes, empty space, or framing. Huh. Eating keto is my goal. So bread is danger and homemade is impossible to resist. Same. I love good bread. We go to the farmers markets on Sundays, and we always buy bread at the farmers markets. Oh, I lost my search. My hand hit it. Frame in soffit. Okay, I'll look at that and I'll find it. But I want to go back to the training. This is what I want you to do. I want you to go into Pinterest, create an account, and start looking for things and seeing that come up. David, you could find keto snacks, you could find keto meals, keto breakfast. I know when I was doing keto years ago, I got so tired of eggs, but it was definitely important back then for me to have variety, because I just couldn't do eggs and I don't eat red meat. And so breakfast was really hard to get protein and to be in ketosis that way. I was eating egg and cheese the entire time. Okay, so we're going to go back to the slides because we are almost there. Hold on. Oh, wrong one. Here we go. We're back on the slides. I think you've got a good idea now about how the search works and the boards in your feed, okay? But this is something I want you to do. Create a new board for a topic, and then that you love, that has nothing to do with travel, and watch what happens. Also, make yourself a note right now. If you don't have email notifications switched on in your settings, go to Chat or Claude or whatever and say, how do I turn on email notifications in my Pinterest account so that Pinterest emails me every day? I want you to turn it on, even if it's just for a week, because I want you to see how Pinterest will help push out your pins. The goal is for them to add one of your pins to somebody's email. All right, so let me give you some examples. Take a look at the screen. If you're sidetracked or multitasking, this is where you actually need to stop and just watch the screen. So if you were to type in the difference between ocean and river cruising in Pinterest, if you have a second monitor, go ahead. You are going to find a bunch of pins pop up. Now, one thing that you might notice is that 2 of them look similar, right? 2 of them look similar. Actually, I would say even 3. This one here, and this one down here. Why? Because they are all Access Pass members. But it doesn't matter that they look similar, because people here are going to click on whatever suits them, whatever draws their eye. So in the chat, can you tell me, without thinking about it, where are you clicking based on what's here? Are you clicking on the orange text, the first one? Are you clicking on this one here with the green text? Are you clicking on the one with the tulips? Where does your eye get drawn to? It's going to be different for every single person. Personally, I'm clicking over on the first one or the second one. And the only reason I might not click on the second one is the image doesn't really grab me, but the first one does. The other thing that I might click on is this one down here. I might also click on this one with the ship as well, but let me know in the chat, where are you clicking on here? What brings you, what's first of mind right there? Okay. Let me know in there. Now, it says, David says, I'm assuming we should do this test on our personal account, not our business account. Yeah, if you have a personal account, do it on your personal account. Absolutely. Okay, number 1, it is clear for you. Okay, for Sherry, she would be clicking on the very first one, but everybody's going to be different here. David says top left, the pick is good and the highlight factor pulls the eye in on his top left. So he's the same. The green lettering, I love this. Sharon went for something completely different. Her eye, she might just like the color green, or it might be the light green on the dark mountain, the contrast that makes it easy for her. It's going to be different for every single person where they click. Now, I know which ones are ads in this screen, and I'm not clicking on the ads. So I always bypass the ads. But yeah, you can see here that there is a lot to click on, and you're going to be drawn to different things depending on where your eye goes. Okay. So these 3 here, 1, 2, and 3, I know that they are All Access Pass members because I know that this was our template. This was our template in All Access. This was a template in the River Cruise marketing guide that we put out, package that we put out. Now, I want to show you 2 travel advisors. Travel advisor number 1, I grade them out their identity because I don't want you all going to their Pinterest account and messing up their algorithm, because Pinterest will show their pins to people who keep going to their account. And that's not fair on this person. So it's not that it's not a real thing. This is real. This is someone's account. This is actually someone from our community, the travel marketing and media community. I know that because this is the Pinterest template that we give people for the back of your header. You can change out these images. I know that because she is also using our templates from Pinterest here. Now, what she's doing really, really, really well, given that she has 0 followers at the time, and this is from last year or the year before, is that she's already got 450 impressions showing up. That means that her pins have been seen 450, her pins have shown up 450 times. They could have been seen by 10 people each or 1,000 people each, but her pins have shown up. Pinterest has put her pins up in people's searches 450 times. And that's pretty good given this was her first month of pinning. What I think she can do better, I'll be honest with you, her font is really hard to read. I personally would have a hard time clicking on any of these, except for maybe the one with the castle and the boat underneath, the ship. I'd probably click on the sausages and mashed potato. Like I said, I don't eat red meat, but I love some good mash. I might click on this dessert one here because it's stunning. Maybe on the massage. I'm not a wine drinker. That's probably it for me. I don't think that there are striking enough images for the most part. But what's making it harder for me is I'm not able to read a lot of the letters, the words on the colors. So in this case, her color palette is letting her down. What I would recommend is that she goes, you can see just a little hint here of a white background. I would put white background with the dark colored text, or I would just stick to black and white. It's okay here if you are like, oh my gosh, my color palette's not helping me. More than likely she has the same problem on her website, but use a white background and black text. It's just going to be easier if your colors don't work. And then later on, when you can, choose your colors again. This is another travel advisor. She only has 10 followers. 10 followers. That's it, because followers don't matter. They don't matter. But she's getting 4,000 monthly views on her pins. Now, when that gets up to 50,000 or 80,000, that's when the magic is going to happen. And you're thinking, oh my gosh, how slowly does it crawl? I will tell you, up to the first 10,000, it kind of goes a little slow. Another advisor in our community, Jamie Ellison, she's been with us for a while. She told me this time last year, I think it was, she was like, oh my gosh, I went from 0 to 2,000 in a week. And then I was at 4,000 within a couple of months. So sometimes it'll happen quickly and you'll get a lactic acid burst of energy. And then other times it will go slowly. But once you get to 50,000, you're going to start to see the leads and the bookings. For the most part, that's where your leads and bookings start. Not to say you don't get it beforehand, because I haven't gotten up to the 50 or 80,000 because I've always been on again, off again with my consistency. I'll literally forget to go in and schedule new pins. I'll schedule 2 or 3 months at a time and then literally forget, but I'm doing way better now. I expect to be able to get within 12 months up to that 50,000 again. But I was getting website inquiries, I was getting coaching inquiries when I was still only on 15,000. You can see here that this travel advisor is probably doing better because the layout of the pins, they're not fancy. It's just white text. Look at this one here. We help you plan the perfect Hawaiian vacation, right? Oh, sorry. Let me just pop my thing on here. Do not disturb. This is my friends talking about summer vacation and what we're doing with our kids. See, it's already started. We help you plan the perfect Hawaii vacation. That is so clear. Beaches, shaved ice, and sunsets. Experience the best of Central Europe on an unforgettable river cruise. Very, very clear what they do here. All right, our account at the time that I took this screenshot, we only had 252 followers. That's it. Over a 90-day period, we got 54,000 views over 90 days. 570 times our pins were saved, and 804 times they were clicked through to our website. We didn't spend $1, and 804 clicks to our website. That was pretty exciting. And that was only 250 followers, right? You should get obsessed with coming into your business and on into your analytics and looking at these numbers. And it's okay for them to go down. They go down all the time. Oh my gosh, our VIP clients freaked out when they first saw their numbers go down. They go down, they go up, they go down, they go up. But as long as generally trending, it's just like your weight. I weighed in the other day and I said to Anthony, oh my gosh, I'm 6 pounds heavier than yesterday. I panicked. Oh my gosh, am I in kidney failure? Because I don't know why I did that. But I went to chat. I put in my scales. We've got the Hume, Hume scales that it's like a DEXA scan almost. And so it measured my fat, my bone, and my muscle. And I had 21% body fat, which is what I had the day before, but I've gone up 6 pounds. Guess what it was? Water. I have eaten so much sodium in this last week. I've been Asian cooking up a feast, and in all of the sauces and the ramen packets, and I had ramen 3 days in a row for lunch, my body had a lot of sodium and was holding a lot of water. You have to look at your numbers so carefully. You have to look at your numbers and know exactly what you're looking at. I knew not to panic. I'm up 6 pounds overnight. But it's not fat. You're not going to put on 6 pounds of fat overnight. All I care about is my fat content and my muscle content. At my age, muscle means everything. I didn't learn that until a few weeks ago. The same thing with your analytics. General growth and trending growth up matters the most. Impressions are all that matters in the beginning, and then eventually saves and clicks will follow as well. Okay. A new account posting in less than 50 days. So this is somebody who has been posting for less than 50 days. 7 followers. Not somebody. This is Authentic Escapes when we started it. 7 followers. 12,000 views in 30 days. 142 saves. 300 clicks to our website. And this is when the account was 50 days old. 300 clicks to our website. If anyone ever said to you, Sandra McLemore doesn't know what she's talking about, you can tell them, I don't expect that people would say that, but if they did, I don't like her. She doesn't know what she's talking about. The numbers, it's all in the numbers. 300 clicks in less than 15 days through to your website. Would you be happy with that? I know I was elated. I didn't expect sales. I didn't expect bookings. Well, on here, we don't sell travel. We actually have profiles of travel advisors that we want to drive traffic to. It's what we are working on as the show's about to come out. Our new show comes out in very soon on Amazon and a bunch of other streaming networks. So we've got the website ready. We've got traffic going to the website. All I care about is getting traffic to the travel advisor profiles. So we started this exercise a year ago, getting ready for it so that we would know how to drive traffic. Oh, by the way, quick tip. At the end, you're always going to see a dip. That's your last 24 hours or your last 2 days where it's still figuring things out. Right? So how to get started on Pinterest. Pinterest is a top of funnel tactic. We talked about this yesterday, top of funnel lead generating. It's top of funnel, but it also works a little bit as middle of funnel because it keeps engaging people once they're following you or following your content. You don't need them to follow your Pinterest account. People will never go to your feed. They will just keep seeing your content appear. Okay. So it's definitely top of funnel. This comes under search engine, like where Google or Google My Business comes. Pinterest is a search engine. You're about to get into the world of search engine optimization. So you create content, you create the pin graphic and then the copy for your pin, your description. You schedule your pin. You get pin clicks to your piece of content, probably a blog or a landing page or a quiz. You have an opt-in form nearby, or if it's a quiz, they'll have to opt in to get the results. That helps you to build your email list, which then allows you to strengthen your connection. This is what the roadmap looks like. Notice that it doesn't go from scheduled pin to booked client. It's not how the world works. If it was, I would be a billionaire because I would have every travel advisor doing it. If all you had to do was make a pin and get a lead, then great. But it's a slow cooker, remember. All right. Tan colors are all the things that happen on your website or on your website. So your blog, for example, having the opt-in form and then building your email list and strengthening your connection. The 2 navy ones is your scheduler, Canva or Tailwind. If you have Pin Studio, that is your 2 navy blue ones. And then red is Pinterest, where people actually engage. So if you have Pin Studio, you will still do the first one, create your content or your blog, but it will then take care of everything else, your 2 blue things. Yes, it will take care of your 2 blue things. So you're canceling out Canva and you're canceling out a scheduler with Pin Studio and a ton of time. Okay, so getting started, to wrap it all up, you're going to choose the type of content, take a picture or a screenshot, but I'll also email you these notes. Choose the type of content you will send people to. It might be a podcast episode, a blog, an article on your website, a video, or a quiz. Create a graphic. A graphic acts like the book cover for the content that you're sending them to. Remember, I showed you that before. Pin the graphic and link it to the page on your website where the content is, not your homepage. Have a spot at the bottom of your content where they can join the email list. They got to see that somewhere. It'll pop up. Build a library of content on your website. These can be destination guides, blogs, anything. You can create multiple graphics, different images and copy, but all pointing to the same blog. So you just got to change out your blogs every now and then. Use an online scheduler to get 5 to 8 pins out daily a few times a week, out daily a few times weekly. In the beginning, don't do that many. In the beginning, just do like 2 pins a day. 1 pin a day, 2 pins a day, maximum. You only want to move up very slowly over time. Okay, if you need more help, you can take our intensive but ridiculously easy Pinterest course. We're going to open that up tomorrow, so you can sign up for that if you want it. It closes Tuesday next week. We walk you through step by step how to start a business account correctly. We show you the biggest mistakes to avoid. We give you a bundle of Pinterest templates for you to design your own pins. We show you how to use our favorite scheduler, and we show you how to align your Pinterest strategy with your commission goals, and then measure your progress so you can tweak your tactics. If you don't want to buy a course and you don't want to do all the work, just sign up for Pin Studio. Pin Studio, $210 every 3 months. You'll learn about everything. There's tons of videos. It'll create your pins. It'll provide the images for the most part, most images, and it will write your pin titles. It will write your captions. You'll have to create the boards, but that's as simple as just typing them up. We have a little video that shows you how to do it. It takes less than a minute to watch the video and less than 3 minutes to create a board. Less than a minute to create a board, actually. And then you can get pinning immediately. Please schedule a one-on-one because it is intuitive for some people, but it's not for everyone. No matter how smart you are, sometimes a one-on-one call is the easiest way to do it. All right. I want you to write for me in the captions, in the chat, please, your hashtag best moment from today. What did you hear today that clicked with you? What made sense for you? Was it the biggest wall in your house and the boards on it and then the Post-it notes? Was it the fact that your pins have to look a certain way, that, you saw the hard to read pins and then the easier to read pins? What was it that clicked for you today? These are some comments from the last time we did Pinterest training. Kayla said the idea that one blog could generate dozens of pins, repurposing content, here I come. Gail said that you've told me to move to Pinterest and I'm ready to listen. I love it. Sometimes people will have to hear this multiple times. You might have done this Pinterest training before, but you weren't ready. Bianca, 2 comments from Bianca. She said, I had no idea I had to save the picture file the same as my subject line to optimize my search. Bianca also said, I started using Pinterest in January because of your guidance, and I love it. People are definitely viewing my website, but I'm having a hard time converting them into email subscribers. And that is where it is challenging. It's not impossible at all. It's not even difficult, but you've got to put thought into it. Great Latitudes Travel. I think that's Yana. Yana says the idea that many people could drive to my website perpetually. Yes. This was Luann and Melissa, mother-daughter team. Pinterest is the last positive place on the internet. No wonder it makes me so happy to scroll there. Jenny says, I have now made 2 pins, but revisiting this is inspiring to me and I am less scared to get back to it. I love that. And someone else wrote, I had Pinterest for many years, but never knew how to use it. Always got overwhelmed. Thanks for explaining Pinterest. So if you have questions or you want to share your best moments, go ahead and do that. While you're doing that, a reminder that our spring website offer is out right now. We are emailing it today for the first time to everybody on our list. A bunch of businesses got started because you attended our website training a few days ago on Wednesday. But I want to remind you that a professionally designed travel website built to attract the right clients and convert them when they arrive. I will be designing an AI-powered, high-powered website for you. Unlimited lead magnets, unlimited destination guides, unlimited blogs, unlimited pages. We designed the foundation of the website in the first month. We put it live, and then every month I will continue to work for you for 2 months, 2 hours every month indefinitely until you don't want this website anymore. You can say, Sandra, this month, John's just booked in yesterday, Jana booked in yesterday, Fiona's booking in today. I want you to tell me every month, Sandra, can I have 2 quizzes this month? Sandra, can I have 3 destination guides? Sandra, can I have 4 blogs? And if you don't know what to tell me, I'll just suggest it to you. I think you need XYZ. Sandra, can I have a page for a group trip that I want to start? Sandra, I'm thinking about doing a co-charter with some other friends, or I'm doing a group trip, and I will help you with those. Okay. I will work on your site indefinitely for 2 hours every month. So the investment here is full payment, $2,400, 3-payment plan, $800. And I think we had a 2-payment for $1,200 as well. And then it's $100 a month after that for me to work on your site every month. We are not outsourcing it. My team is not building it. I am building it. And it's a 3-day build. I will literally put you on the calendar for a 3-day build. If you're signing up to yesterday and today, we'll be sending out your onboarding. You may get it today, but at the absolute latest, you're going to get your onboarding tomorrow. And then you can, early in the morning, so you can spend the weekend onboarding if you don't have plans. It's Easter weekend, so you might have plans. And then we schedule you for the next available 3-day window. And then we're literally ready to connect you. It's so exciting. So make sure that you take advantage of that. We'll send that out by email to everybody today. So I want to answer any questions, and I want to know your best moments before I let you go. All righty, let's see. Jamie says, oh my gosh, she is here. I didn't know she was here. Jamie says 0 to 7,000 impressions in a month. And ma'am, you have to stay consistent. Stay consistent. Reach for that 50,000, reach for that 80,000, because that's when you're going to start to see the conversions. And in the meantime, start looking at your website thinking, what do I need to do to make sure that when someone gets here, it's ready to convert? All right. Sharon asks, I love this question. Is there a particular font that you suggest we use? Yes, there is. And it's the most basic fonts. So one of my favorite fonts, you could use Montserrat, you could use Open Sans. Open Sans is my favorite, probably because it's like me saying. Open Sans is my favorite. I'm really digging right now Jakarta Plus, but any sans serif fonts. Listen to this. A font is either a serif or a sans serif. Serif is the flicky bits on a font. You know, you have like an L and then a flicky bit and a little flicky bit at the top. Sans is in French, sans serif, without flicky bits. Find fonts without flicky bits. No cursive fonts, no script fonts, like solid fonts. Sharon, you were drawn to that green because of the font and the color contrast and the color, but you were drawn to it because it was also very easy to read. Thank you for that question. Sherry says, I have blogs on my website. I need to learn how to link these. Yes, absolutely. You can just pop into chat and say, can you tell me step by step? Can you tell me step by step how to set up my pin for the first time? Or you can go into Pinterest and do that. Would you like to say hi to the people? Sit right here and you can say hi when Mama's done. Okay. Blogs and pins for sure. Also, colors and fonts are important. Always check before posting. 100%. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. David says, good refresher, review of my posted pins and they look good, and view mix is a good match with my business objectives. Just need to be patient, I guess. Slow cooker, David. If you are hungry, go to a networking event, meet people. A networking event, I'm telling you, David, it's like the most painful thing for so many of us, but you could meet someone who's ready for a vacation or who's ready to plan their summer break. Everybody right now should be doing networking events for your summer travel clients. This is where you're going to get them. Right after the spring break, they're ready to talk about summer break. Please go to a networking event, but have your Pinterest going in the background. Okay, David says, are you offering some kind of transition approach for our existing website and a weekend website? Sounds like a new design is much different. I would love to. I got this email yesterday from someone saying, I have my website and a weekend site and I love it. Wix doesn't offer what I need to be, it's not the right tool for me to do it. That tool, it didn't exist. I have no regrets with website in a weekend because those websites are incredible, but the technology wasn't around when we built them. So when you're ready, and it could be a year from now, it could be a month, it could be a year. Some people are ready now because they've never loved their website. Someone like you who's got a website that you love and it's gorgeous, and you invested in it not that long ago, you might need to wait a minute before you can do that next tech upgrade. It's kind of like having an iPhone 5 right now. If you had an iPhone 5, I don't know if they still work, but if they worked, then it would be time for you to upgrade to a 17. But if you just got the iPhone 15, you don't need to upgrade right now until you're financially ready to be able to do it. If you're financially ready, get rid of the website in a weekend and go to a new one. If you're not, wait until you're ready. Joanne says, I have Tame now. How can I get Pin Studio? I'm ready for Pinterest. I want to share my stats too. I know it's so cool when you see people come in. Jamie started from scratch on Pinterest. I'm pretty sure she did. She started from scratch. She had 0 impressions. So now she just went from 0 to 7,000 in a month. She's just got to shoot for that 50,000, 80,000, because that's when Pinterest sees like, okay, this is like a serious account. So you go to www.pinstudio.io. There we go. I just put it in the chat just there. Okay, very good. Voyages by Water. If you set up our current website offer and we want the updated design. Oh, I missed the beginning of your question. Or if you set up our current website offer and we want the updated design. It's not about design, it's about the interactive. I need to be able to code things in the back of your website, and I can't do that on Wix. I can't quickly build out unlimited destination guides, unlimited quizzes, unlimited niche pages. I can't build out, like, I want to build a tool. I'm practicing right now where you could type in Portugal versus Portugal versus Croatia, for example, or Portugal versus Spain, and that it immediately populates a comparison. And you can type in any two countries in the world and it would compare. Those are the kinds of things that I want to build on these new generation AI-powered websites that I cannot build on a Wix website. And the technology just wasn't there. You can't use Wix with your website design. No, I can't. I wish I could. The technology is not there for Wix. It wasn't when we did that. Denise says the link is not working. Oh, hold on. Let me check. Maybe I gave it to you wrong. I apologize. Pinstudio.io. I'm just going to paste it. Oh, I didn't connect the www yet. Sometimes I do that. Flora, can you make a note to check both of them for me, please? There you go, just there. If you are in a Facebook group or a community with other travel advisors, you can sign up also to become an affiliate for Pin Studio and for Tame and All Access. And you can literally get yours for free when you refer enough people, because it just pays you cash, which is really cool. There we go. The link's working now. Will Pin Studio be able to be inside Tame if we get it? No, they're separate websites. I had to build them separately because they're so complex behind the back, and I built them both myself. They're so complex behind the back that I was afraid that if I had issues with one, that the other wouldn't be available. So what I would recommend is having the same email and password for both. And then what I can do is I can put a section in each that you can just click through. I'll do that for you. Okay, it's a comment from the offer itself. I sent the email yesterday. I need to be patient. Oh, okay, no problem. I'll check. It's working now. Okay, great. Denise says, so no, don't be sorry at all. There you go. There's the link just there. And sad face, I know. It's what happens with, it's like what happens, like you'll buy a phone or you'll buy a camera and then the whole new thing will come out. I remember my dad bought a massive TV, like a 65-inch TV, and he paid $4,000 for it. And now you can get a 65-inch for $300. It's just so frustrating, but that's the beauty, but also the curse of technology, that it just moves so quickly. And if you invested in your website in the last 2 years, it feels like a big punch in the gut. All right, ready? You want to say hi to the people? Houston wants to say hi to everybody. Is that okay? Who powers the new website if not Wix? It's custom built. I custom built it. Okay, come on over. What do you want to say?
Hello.
Introduce yourself.
I'm Houston McLemore.
Why does it look like a hostage video? No, smile. Okay, you want to be on it by yourself? Okay, here. Go ahead.
I want you to go.
Oh, okay. Too. All right. You got to be close together. See, look, we have to sit closer together. Okay, go ahead. What do you want to say to the people? Look what somebody wrote. Oh my, how did it get so big?
It's because I've been eating veggies and less of the sweet I've been eating. And I've been not eating food with food dyes.
Oh, yeah, we don't eat food with food dyes.
And I've been going to bed at 7:30 and 8:30 because my normal bedtime is 7:30. And on weeknights, I do 7:30. And on the weekends, I just do 8:30.
Okay, and what have you been, what activities were you doing after school before you broke your arm?
I've been doing pickleball,
cello,
and basketball.
And then you broke your arm, so you had to stop pickleball and basketball. And then what did you take up?
I took up Spanish club.
And he's really good at it. And Anthony and Houston are competing, and Houston won the challenge the other day. But Anthony, you think you can beat Houston? He said yes. Do you think Daddy can beat you at Spanish?
No way. He can.
No way he can't. Oh, look, people are writing nice things. They haven't seen you for a long time. Some of you have been with us since before Houston was born. Look, what's that say? Can you read that? He's
gotten to be such a big boy handsome.
Oh, there you go. Okay, what does this say? From Miss Alicia. Hi, Alicia. What does this say?
Hi, Houston. Veggies are the best.
Oh, very good. Okay, here's another message for you. Can you read this one? Speak up. This is from Miss Sharon.
Hi, Houston. Nice to finally meet you. You are getting such a big boy.
Getting to be such a big boy. Thank you, Miss Sharon. This is from Miss Sherry.
Such a handsome guy.
Oh, he's going to have such a big head. Okay, this one.
Pickleball is my son's favorite.
Oh, Miss Allison has a son that loves pickleball. This one.
Adorable, well-spoken, like his mom.
Oh, that's nice. Thank you so much. Best recipe for life. Okay.
Best people for life.
We need to go. We're heading out. We're going to our friend's house. They're from China. They're amazing. We're going to what's their name? The which family?
The Gals.
The Gals. And what are we learning today?
We're learning more Chinese, and I have homework with Aubrey, and my friend Ferris doesn't have a bunch of homework to do. He just has it.
Okay, they don't know Ferris. The kids' names in kindergarten are so cute. Ferris, Pharaoh, Axel. They're so cute. We're going to learn to make dumplings today.
Yeah.
Traditional Chinese dumplings. Okay, say bye, people. Bye, friends.
Bye.
Okay, go with Daddy.
Here, Mom.
Go do hair, please. Okay, thank you. Go do hair. Go do hair. Oh my gosh. Can I just show you one thing before you all go? Yesterday, the attitude was horrible. I saw him treat another child at the park in a way that I wasn't happy with, and we had a lot of conversations. And it says here, Dear Sandra, he used my grown-up name. He doesn't speak to me with my grown-up name, but it was a very serious letter. I will fix my attitude for you. Love, kindness, cool, live, fun, nice, calm, helpful, and brown. They're all the things that he wants to be in his life. Oh, I love that. He got in trouble because it's no excuse to have a bad attitude. We need to be kind to everybody, even if we don't like them. I told him yesterday, if you don't like people, they should never know that, because you should treat them with respect. It's okay to not like people. I don't like most people. I don't like a lot of people right now, especially right now, but you should always treat people with respect. So I was very cross with him yesterday, and we had a lot of talks. And then last night I just stayed very quiet. But to tell me that these are all the things that he wants to be in his life, he wants to be kind, he wants to be cool, he wants to be likable, he wants to be fun, he wants to be nice, he wants to be helpful, he wants to be full of love, and he wants to be brown. Aw, okay, have a great rest of day. Go sign up to get your website done. If you feel like a longer payment plan would help you, just write to us. We are regular people. We struggle financially sometimes too. We get it, but we also know that we have to invest in ourselves and put ourselves out there when we're not necessarily ready. If you need a longer payment plan, like a much longer payment plan, message us. I don't want the payment to be something in the way, but you have also got to ask yourself, am I going to promote and market my website? Because it's one thing to have a website, but it's another thing to get out there and promote it and market it. Alrighty. Jamie says, thank you for sharing him. What a nice way to end the session. I never put him on camera. But yes, he's joyful. He's a little brown boy joy for sure. And I thought that would be a nice way to send you into the world. Can you just tell me one thing quickly before you go? What are you about to go do in your business? What's the next thing you're going to do in your business? The next thing you're going to do to help market or promote your business, to put yourself out there. I think some of you need to go to a networking event, to a business owners event, to a chamber of commerce event, to a local community event, because I think you will find people. Denise is going to go join Pin Studio. I love that. I love that. What a nice way to end today's lesson. Absolutely. Alrighty. I'm going to go to the gal's house. We're making dumplings, and then I'm going to disappear from dumplings and jump online at 12 to do a quick town hall where people have questions. I encourage you, if you have any questions at all, even if you're not coming at 12, you can submit them right now online. Go to the events page and submit a question for town hall, and I will answer all of your questions. Alrighty. Looking some events in my hometown. Absolutely. Put yourself out there. Hair appointment. See you at the town hall. Bye, everybody. Bye for now.